Real people, radical faith, eternal impact.
The year was 1848, in the grey industrial city of Aberdeen, Scotland. Amid the clatter of factory wheels and the smoke of the mills, a frail young girl named Mary Slessor grew up in poverty. Her father was an alcoholic, and her mother, a gentle, devout Christian, kept the family afloat with prayer and faith. At just 11 years old, Mary began working 12-hour shifts at a weaving factory to help feed her family. But every evening, exhausted and with thread-stained hands, she would attend her mother's mission meetings, listening to stories of missionaries like David Livingstone who carried the gospel to Africa. It stirred something deep inside her heart. When Livingstone died in 1873, Mary read of it and whispered to her mother, "He's gone. Perhaps God means for me to take up his work." Years later, after her mother's blessing, and with only a few coins to her name, Mary boarded a ship bound for Calabar in present-day Nigeria, a region known to Europeans as the white man's grave because of malaria and tribal warfare. At that time, the Efik and Ibibio tribes lived in deep fear of the spirit world. Witchcraft and superstition governed daily life. They practiced human sacrifices, trials by poison, and most infamously, they believed twins were cursed. The birth of twins, they thought, meant one child was fathered by an evil spirit. Both babies were abandoned in the bush, left to die, while the mother was often banished or killed. When Mary first arrived, other missionaries warned her not to interfere with such customs. It was too dangerous. But Mary, with her red hair, Scottish accent, and fearless faith, refused to stand by. She once said, "I have only one desire, to be where God wants me to be, doing what he wants me to do." She moved far into the jungles, alone, into villages no European had dared to enter. She built relationships, learned the Efik language fluently, and cared for their sick. When villagers brought her infants left to die, she cradled them as her own. Her home soon became filled with rescued children, dozens of babies once condemned as devils. Eyewitnesses wrote that she would walk for miles barefoot through swamps, carrying 2 babies at once, one on her back and one in her arms, while another clung to her skirt. She slept on dirt floors and often ate nothing but local porridge. Yet she never complained. A fellow missionary once remarked, "Wherever Mary went, the darkness lifted. The people said her God must be stronger than the spirits, for no curse could touch her." Her influence grew as chiefs and tribes began calling her Ma Slessor, the White Mother who feared nothing. She mediated tribal disputes, stopped the killing of women and slaves after a chief's death, and introduced peace where bloodshed had reigned for centuries. When the British colonial authorities struggled to maintain order, they turned to Mary for help. She became a